Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere Akwath. And Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now, this lesson is going to be based on a storm that knocked out power to thousands in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. This is a storm is sinking into New England on this Saturday morning, leaving tens of thousands of people without power to start the weekend, particularly in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. The Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency's outage tracking map shows there were just over 18,800 customers without power in the Bay State as of 9 a.m. Utility companies in New Hampshire are reporting more than 18,200 customers out of power there. Meanwhile, there were around 8,500 without power in Maine. The rest of New England wasn't as affected. There were around 1,650 Vermont customers without power. In Connecticut, only around 275 outages were reported, and less than 50 in Rhode Island. The thick of it is still to come, with winds likely pushing past 50 miles per hour in Boston. There are high wind warnings in effect for Nantucket and Barnstable counties from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m., as well as high wind advisories for several other parts of Massachusetts and New Hampshire. The National Weather Service has warned of the chance of 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which could cause damage to trees and power lines. So, yet again, the Lord visiting with these storms and tempests. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hand. Hegeon Selah. Yes, so the Lord sending these storms, causing these power outages, that is his judgment. And also the Lord, when he sends these storms, if the winds are strong enough, they could knock down these trees, cause trees to fall into the roads, onto people's cars, onto people's homes. The Lord, he can do anything with these storms and tempests. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And the Lord has been visiting with a lot of storms. Rainstorms, lightning storms, hail storms, even, just wind storms, just not in the sense of tornadoes, but just 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Nothing too extreme, but, strong enough to do some damage. If that's what the Lord wanted to do. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And these wind storms are destructive. They snap power lines. And like I said, if they're a bit more powerful and more intense, they can knock trees over. Just tear trees out of the ground. Which causes its own set of problems for people. Psalms 83:14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's what the Lord has been doing, sending out these storms and tempests to cause destruction, to wound people, to kill people, to make people afraid. And he's going to continue to do that. And through the Spirit, as I've been saying, these storms and these tempests are going to get more intense. Like right now, I'm in my house and I can hear the wind outside. Like it's strong enough to where you can hear it, and you can hear it clearly. And it has been raining a lot over here. So hey, the Lord, he ain't messing around, man. He is not messing around. He's giving people a taste of what he's about to unleash. These rainstorms, they're going to cause flooding. These lightning storms, they could spark fires. These powerful winds, they can snap power lines, knock over trees, tear the roofing off of homes. These hailstorms, they can cause some serious damage and even kill people on the more extreme side. This is not a joke. This is why those of us of the Hope Select, we have to stay circumspect, because the Lord is only going to continue to intensify his judgments. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that is what those of us of the Hope Select must continue to do. Continue to watch, and continue to stay prayed up. Send up prayers, asking the Lord to keep his hedge of protection over you and your loved ones, as well as all the sincere brothers and sisters and their loved ones. Continue to ask the Lord for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and patience, and more faith. Because best believe these judgments, the storms, tempests, fires, earthquakes, and everything else that's been happening, it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot more intense, more destructive, more deadly, because we're living in the last days. And the goal for those of us of the Hope Select is to endure unto the end and be saved. And we can only do that through the Lord. We can't do that on our own. So you always have to watch and be circumspect so that you're not caught off guard as the Lord continues to intensify his judgments upon the earth. Because these simple-minded people out here, they're not paying attention. They're so focused on the fact that it's getting close to summer, and they want to party. They want to barbecue, have cookouts, go on picnics, go on vacation, go to the bars and the clubs. That's what they're focused on. They're not focused on the fact that these judgments of the Lord have been steadily getting more intense. A lot of these people, they have no idea what's about to happen. And to be honest, they don't even care. They just want to be out here being as wild and wicked and reckless as they can be. And they're going to die in that. Those of us of the Hope Select, we don't want to die. We want to live. We want to survive. We want to endure into the end. And the Lord lets us know what we're supposed to be doing. So we have to do that. And just watch as the Lord brings more destruction upon these ignorant, simple-minded people who refuse to take heed to the warnings from the men of the Lord. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, for putting the Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters, and shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.